I sit down at home decided to watch some TV, listening to the news by Gordon Mosley. I listening to the things that he say he trapped in tonight, paying close attention to make sure I hear it right. But when I hear the things that he mentioned on the news, I had to declare them kind of thing got me confused. I hear some things where the ERC noticing, and it convinced people that people ain't learning nothing. We hear so many times about them big name calling, and they say ERC pretend that they didn't learn nothing. But once you're black and you just decide to say a word or two, bet your life on that, they say ERC coming for you. Listen to the things you just hear on social media. Only one set of people allowed to talk in one Guyana. I still say nothing, black people in learning. But this is my concern. I hope one day black people will learn. ERC that I would like to know. If any of its members happens to be black people, and if that is the case, I want them to answer this call. Tell me how come none of them ain't got no voice at all. You're showing signs of weakness and you're afraid to be fair, and we see the same thing keep happening year after year. And the day will come when all this nonsense will stop. That will be the day when black people decide to wake up. Not so long ago, something terrible happened. This young Indian man want to kill out all black people by poison. But if his shoes was on the other foot, would have been a big threat. But up to this day, this ERC can't do nothing as yet. How come it's only black people committing cybercrime? When pretty on social media busting people all the time, I still saying black people in learning. But one day will come when the entire table will turn. Excuse me, see they fail to condemn, because these people think that the law is only for them. And anybody else who decide to file a complaint, they go call you a racist and don't want to hear nothing. Plenty complaint from time to time has been brought to their attention, but because of this one-sided cybercrime is why they don't show any concern. There's only one set of people that they really care about, and black people must take the abuse and shut them out. Kidaki Amsterdam went to court just recently for an issue that was highlighted by the same ERC. And with breakneck speed, the police decide to jump on his case. Without a search warrant, they went and search up the man's place. Let us all agree that black people under attack. Different laws for you and me just because we black. I still saying black people in London. To all my black friends, we must put a stop to all this nonsense. Cybercrime laws to keep people silent, just to make sure nobody criticizes this government. And while that is a very clear case of dictatorship, it is no surprise that the ERC ignoring it. Why only the chosen few is allowed to have things their way, when people like me and you must have nothing to say? And when ministers in the government start to launch their attack, you never hear this ERC come out and talk about that. They send a policeman all the way to New York. This fella went up there to serve a coat someone on Rick Ford. Under this thing, this government decide to fabricate a case, but like they forget the warning they get from black t-shirt jails. The vice president described that he used as a low life. Because of this kind of abuse, he don't have a wife. are still singing. Black people in learning. Just the other day, I hope your man see help is on the way.
Are you looking for tents to rent? Well, look no further. At Easy Party Rentals, Sideline and Boxer North, we have tents in all sizes and colors. All sizes of tents we have. Small tents, big tents, medium tents, extra large tents. Call us on 6225933. We have what you need. Easy Party Rentals. Big on tents.
All right, so today we are here at Club Twilight up in Buxton, and we are here to talk about all that's going on up here. Trust me, if you are on the East Coast, you're in Buxton, you're in town, you're looking for a place to get away to, this is the place. The Cutters, mwah. Listen, I'll be having some just now again. We'll talk about that. And then, of course, the ambience is beautiful, fully air conditioned. The decor is on point. The music's on point. Everything's on point. It's just me. I need some work. But everything else that belongs to this club here is on point. So if you want to find a nice little place where you can just drive out of town and have some drinks, have some food, you can call, you can order your stuff and just take it. You don't have to stay. Or if you want to stay here, that's what's up. And of course, they have special events for Valentine's. You can rent a hall. You can rent a hall, honey. You can rent a hall for weddings, for birthday parties, to have a bash. I hope he edits that out. But you know, whatever it is, this is definitely the place to be. So it's on Sideline Dam. You definitely want to ensure that you check this place out. Put it on your to-do list. All right, on your to-do list. This is definitely the place to check out, you know, a really cool, chill spot here in Buxton. I like this. This is Buxton needed this. We needed this. I needed this. You definitely needed too. Thank you. All right, so you might be wondering where we are. Still in Buxton at Club Twilight. That's where we are. So Club Twilight also has like an Airbnb as well. So you could come, drink, drunk, and come in the back here and lie down. Look at that. Look at that. Perfection. And the people come in the room and so on. The bed sheet matching the blind, matching the carpet, matching the this, matching the that. We know but we things in Buxton don't play with we. So definitely if you want to come and, you know, you may be having a wedding or whatever and you just want to overnight and just have a good time because you're going to be drunk. We got too much road accidents. So you definitely want to come drink, have a good time. They have several rooms that you can rent. You have your toilet, you have your bath, you have your sink, you have your dining area. You have the bed. This is nice. I like it. Anyways, to my friends and my family, if you're looking for me, I'll be overnighting. Also for those persons who are traveling in from overseas, you want a nice, cozy place out of town, then Club Twilight, call them up, look them up on social media. They have their own Facebook page, and ensure that you come up the side and have a good time. Have a good time. Have a good time. Sorry. I'm sorry. That's it.
Stop running around like headless chicken. Go to Ashton's Marketplace for whole and cut chicken, beef, pork, processed meats like bacon, beef franks, smoked ham, ground pork, calabresa, and lots more. Ashton's offers wholesale and retail. Check them out. Call 613-2332 or WhatsApp 434-327-3955. Ashton's Marketplace, at 72 Rob Street, Border. Are you hosting an event? Do you need ice, party ice in large or small quantities? Then call us at 622-5933 for the best party ice available. $1,000 per bag. We do delivery. EC Crystals, Sideline Dam, Buxton North. Call to have your orders filled today.
You can get meat anywhere, but for the best cuts of chicken, beef, pork, mutton, and lots more, check out T&W Harris Butcher Shop located in the East Rheinveld Market Meat Section. Call us on 609-7168, 641-4494. Ask for Rastaman. T&W Harris Butcher Shop for the best in fresh cut meats and lots more.
Planning a party? Worry no more. We have all the supplies you need. At EC Party Rentals, we have folding chairs, folding tables, square tables, round tables, long tables, short tables, big tables. We have chairs, red chairs, gold chairs, white chairs, crystal chairs, chairs of all type, throne chairs. What you want, we have. Food warmers, coolers, ice, beverages. At EC Party Rentals, we have what you need to have a good time. You plan the party, we do the work. Call us 622-5933. EC Party Rentals. Let's keep your party going.
Hey, Guyana, time to rise up, time to move up. APNU in the place, we put people first. From Essequibo straight to Berbice, Guyana people want justice and peace. From quarantine water to Demerara Shore, we tie promises, we want more. Move up! APNU in the place, we put people first.
Hello and welcome to Context. I'm your host, Robert. Thank you so much for joining us on this Capital News Context platform. Joining me on Context today is the Honorable Amanda Walton is here. And most of you may know by now, Amanda Walton is here.
APNU, our this is we are APNU. Say people first. We not gonna stop till the blessings burst. APNU, we putting people first. Time to rise up, break the curse. Future bright like a brand new day. We giant lead in a real big way. APNU, say people first. From the top to the bottom, love unity blazing, vision clear. Guyana strong, no space for fear. We got the rhythm, we got the fire, lifting every village higher and higher. No more fights, no more delay. We come to build Guyana today. From Lettenbush to Bartica Base, every face got a place in this race. We done with the roughness, done with the slack. We're taking the country forward, no turning back. Who you voting? Why we voting? Tell the nation. Let we go and claim the prize. APNU, we putting people first. Time to rise up, break the curse. Future bright like a brand new day. We giant lead in a real big way. APNU, say people first. From the top to the bottom, of unity blazing, vision clear. Guyana strong, no space for fear. Every youth, every elder stand tall. This Guyana belong to us all. From the market woman to the king cutter hand, we building up this blessed land. APNU got the plan, got the drive. Putting people first, keeping up alive. So wind up, jump up, move with pride. We waving them flag nationwide. Say, are you ready? Say, we go forward. Say, APNU. People first. APNU, we putting people first. Time to rise up, break the curse. Future bright like a brand new day. We can lead in a real big way. APNU, say people first. From the top to the bottom, of unity blazing, vision clear. Guyana strong, no space for fear. We outside in sun and rain. We putting people first again. APNU, we lead the line. Time for Guyana to rise and shine.
Morning, are you morning? Morning, are you morning?
Welcome to another program of Guyanese Morning Time. I am your host, Kidaki Amsterdam. How you doing? How you here? How you doing? How you feeling? How was your weekend? Talk to me. What were you able to achieve over the weekend? How hopeful are you that tomorrow will be a better day? That Ghana will be a better place after September 1. How hopeful are you? I'm filled with hope. I'm feeling it, A change is coming. And you best want to be a part of the change. Big up yourself, Team APNU. Team APNU. The PNC, WPA, and all the others. Team Sherrod, Team Jereta, Team Ricky, Team VPAC, Team Legalized Cannabis Guyana team. Big up yourself. All y'all. Big up yourself, Team APNU. All those who have chose coalition, big up yourself. Like I said earlier, it's one harder. According to them, man, it's one harder. One harder. Team APNU. And we got to work to make it a reality. We got to ensure that we do what we have to do to get the result that we want to get. Right? So it's a new day. It's time we start to embrace what we have and stop complaining about what we don't. As a youngster growing up, I will start if it's certain rice in the house, it's certain rice in the house. If it's certain rice, we gotta eat it, certain rice, we gotta eat. We ain't going to the neighbor to tell the neighbor it's only certain rice we get. We walk in with certain rice and we wearing we happy face. And we doing what we gotta do. And so all those of you who have been campaigning, have been calling for, have been encouraging coalition of all the opposition parties, I'd say to you, half a bread is better than no bread at all. And so 18 parties, no, 28 parties, 27 parties against the PPP. If you are able to convince 14 parties, 15 parties, 16 parties to contest the elections under one big umbrella, then pat yourself on your back and say we have done the best we can. We have done all that we can. We have, we've done the best we can. We have given everybody an opportunity to come on board. And these are the numbers. These are the parties that saw the wisdom in working with us. And so let us proceed. We can't wait. We can't stop the train. We can't stop press and wait until somebody gets what should I call it? A vision, a revelation, or what? Don't stop the progress. We got to keep on keeping on. And like I keep saying, it's not the end of the road for coalition just yet. The end of the road for coalition is going to be nomination morning or nomination day. At the end of nomination day, then well, okay, these people certainly decided to go it alone. It's never over until the fat lady sings. And so y'all don't despair. Work with what you got. Work with what you got. You have to wake up in the morning and realize, look around you, the only thing like in your house is some overnight rice from yesterday and 2 eggs at the fowl drop in the yard last night. You run down the road and hey, I gotta feed. Neighbor, are we hungry? You grab the rice, you grab them 2 eggs, and you back it up with whatever else you could find in the house, and you make a good overnight rice, fried rice, egg and rice, whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, you get your stomach filled. So let's work with what we have. You have the PNC, the APNU plus WPA. Then it's the APNU plus WPA. Contesting on the status APNU. That's what we have. That's what we have to work with. And so let's start working with that. Let us put the word out there in every nook and cranny that it is the APNU which must get our vote on September 1. In every nook and cranny, let us sound the bell. Let us sound the horn. Let us sound our voices. Let us sound the message. Don't split the vote. We must vote. We must consolidate our vote. We must vote overwhelmingly for that grouping which will find itself on the ballot as APNU. Nobody else must get a single vote. They must get whitewashed. We must circle the wagon from now. The only way you must be able to benefit from the vote of the people is if you are under the umbrella of the APNU, if you're in that coalition there, if you're in that circle. Any political party outside of the APNU coalition should be left right out there, out in the cold. Oh, Tom Jones is a good man, you know. I always like Tom Jones, but unfortunately, in there with the APNU, man, I'm going to still give him a vote. No! No! If Tom Jones as a good man got the best interests of you and the whole of Guyana at heart, then Tom Jones going to find a way to be under the APNU group in under a coalition, because it's only a strong coalition that can remove the PPP from power. I ain't gonna scale my eyes. I ain't gonna play blind. I ain't gonna pretend. I ain't gonna get no grand illusion or illusion of grandness. No, no, no. I'm dealing with reality. The reality is you got a wicked group of people in government named the PPP, and they got access to all this money and resources and influence and so on. And if you want to put them out of power, you got to be able to match them and do better than them. So everybody got to put their shoulders to the wheel. When you're playing tug of war and the next side got a big strong man, you team members can't say, well, I gonna pull east and I gonna pull west. Team members gotta agree to pull in one direction, because it's the only way that you will know the strong man. So Michael George is asking me to name by name all those who make up the APNU. Well, I'll be honest with you, Michael George. Today's symbol day, I think. Today's symbol day, or symbol day is somewhere down in the week. When is symbol day for GCOM? You see, I'll be honest with you, and y'all know by now that is our ideal. I respect leadership, I respect authority. I want to jump the gun. 22nd of June is Symbol Day. Right? So today is the 23rd. Sounds strange. So today really and truly is when symbols, I guess, would be final day perhaps for submitting symbols to GCOM. I'm frozen. Why? Can you hear me? Hello? All right, yes. You on Facebook, you definitely, oh my goodness. I should have been on TikTok. Nevertheless, no stress. Yes. So Symbol Day is, I don't like what's happening today. Symbol Day is today. And so Michael George, you definitely are going to get your information as to all of the political parties that are part of the coalition currently. I guess after the symbol has been submitted, because obviously you're going to get press releases about the symbols and so on. Of course, the media themselves might be hunting down that information to share with you. I was saying that you have to understand me. I respect authority. I respect leadership. And so I don't think it's my job to jump out front and say this is what it is on the part of the coalition. These are the parties. These are the symbols and so on and so forth. Let us wait. Let me give Jackie jacket. Getting a serious challenge. They're trying. I don't know why they're trying with me. Good. All right, good. I don't like to see myself frozen. So like a frozen on the other end now. Nevertheless, I was sidetracked there. So I gotta find myself back to where I was. Right. But so I'm saying, listen, we have to consolidate our votes. And if we're going to succeed in doing that, we have to start now. In every nook and cranny, every supporter of the APNU has to now become a member of the campaign team of the APNU. We cannot any longer be quiet about supporting the APNU. Yeah, man, me gonna make no nice. Me gonna jump out and say that I don't know where my vote going. Y'all know where my vote going, right? Yeah, we know that. We know that. We know where your vote will go. But have you encouraged somebody else to bring their vote to where your vote is going? I am encouraging you this morning to encourage everyone around you to match your energy and take your vote and their vote to the APNU. Because it's what we need to remove this gang of thieves known as the PPP. Every single supporter of the APNU, every single supporter of the opposition, every single supporter of the coalition must become a campaigner for the coalition. We can no longer sit down and say, well, yeah, man, I'm going to give them a vote. And they know they're going to get a vote. Others got to know that. You know, as the Christians say, you have to give a testimony. You can't light your light and put it on the bushel. It makes no sense. Lighting your light and put it under a calabash. No, you're hiding your light. You have to share the light with others. What I will encourage you is not to get into disagreements, not to cuss, not to fight, not to make enemies. Don't let your long-time friends become your new-time enemy because of politics. No. Y'all must reason, man, and man must reason. Every parent must vote against the PPP. Every parent must vote for justice for Adriana. And the only way you voting for justice for Adriana is voting against the PPP. And ensuring that the PPP loses the election so that the next political party that forms the government, they take the necessary steps to ensure a reopening of the investigations into the murder of Adriana Young, an ultimate delivery of justice for Adriana Young. Guyanese have a way of letting things slide, and that is why the PPP and their friends and family and cronies wanted to rush the Youngs into burying their dead, their daughter, prematurely before getting all the facts. Because the earlier they bury her, the faster Guyanese will forget the injustice meted out to that family. The faster Guyanese will forget the wickedness of the PPP and their friends. I told a friend, somebody was asking me, why didn't bury Adriana yet? When they're going to bury Adriana? I said, listen, quite frankly, I'm going to be honest with you. As long as that family needs to fight for justice, I don't have a problem with them keeping their daughter. So that people can actually connect with that physical fight for justice. Because we have a way of forgetting. Old people say cried us last week or something like that. We buried her yesterday. We buried her dead yesterday. Our beautiful black child was buried yesterday. But injustices, the cruelty of her death, the injustices against the family must not be buried with her. We must remember that. And we must go into those poll booths and we must cast a vote against those who allowed that injustice. And on the change of government, we must hold those who are in office accountable for giving justice to the family. So it's not a one-way street. It's not a one-way street. I'm saying every Guyanese citizen, every parent, every relative, everybody who got a child or who aspires to have a child must cast a vote for Adriana, for justice for Adriana. And that vote has to be against the PPP. I'm saying the only way I think those votes will show their real value is if they voted for that grant, they've cast for that grand coalition in the APNU. Because everybody else outside of the APNU will be splitting the vote and reducing the chances of removing the PPP from office, hence removing the chances of justice being delivered for our beautiful young black child. I got another song for you. I really like the first one. Let me introduce y'all to this one. It is about time y'all know these songs, because I will expect you to go out there. Some people learn from music. Others learn from speech. Others learn from reading. Which one did I play for you? Let me see.
Hey, time to rise, time to rise up, time to move up. Hey, be anyone in place. Hey, we put people first. Oh, hey. From Essex, it goes straight to berries. Guyana people want justice and peace. From quarantine water to Demerara. We tie our promises, we want more. No more lies, no more disguise. This like poetry to realize. We come strong with people power. APNU, our this is we are. APNU, say people first. We never stop till the blessings burst. APNU, we putting people first. Time to rise up like the dust. Future bright like a brand new day. We can lead in a real big way. APNU, say people first. From the top to the bottom, love, unity, blazing vision clear. I need strong, no space for fear. We got the rhythm, we got the fire.
I know play the one for y'all again, but take this one now.
Time to rise, time to rise up, time to move up. APNU in the place. We put people first. Oh, from Essex, it goes straight to berries. Guyana people want justice and peace. From quarantine water to Demerara. We tie our promises, we want more. No more lies, no more disguise. This time poetry to realize. We come strong with people power. APNU, our this is we are. APNU, say people first. We never stop till the blessings burst. APNU, we putting people first. Time to rise up, break the curse. Future bright like a brand new day. We join lead in a real big way. APNU, say people first. From the top to the bottom, love, unity, blazing vision clear. I am strong, no space for fear. We got the rhythm, we got the fire. Lifting every village higher and higher. No more fight, no more delay. We come to build Guyana today. From let the motion push to our face. Every place got a place in this race. We're done with the money, we're done with this life. We're taking the country forward, no turning back. Who you voting? Why we voting? Tell the nation. Let we go and claim the prize. APNU, we put the people first. Time to rise up, break the curse. Future bright like a brand new day. We die leading a real big way. APNU, say people first. From the top to the bottom, love, unity, blazing vision clear. Guyana is strong, no space for fear. Every youth and real stand tall. This Guyana belong to us all. From the woman to the king of time. We building up this blessed land. APNU got the flag and the drive. Put people first, giving up our lives. So why not jump up, move with pride? We living perfect nationwide. Say, are you ready?
Are you ready?
We go forward. Say APNU.
APNU.
People first. APNU, we put people first. Like to rise up, break the curse. Future bright like a brand new day. We can lead in a real big way. APNU, say people first. From the top to the bottom, love, unity, blazing vision clear. Guyana strong, no space for fear. We outside in sun and rain.
Diana.
We putting people first again. APNU, we lead the line. Time for Guyana to rise and shine.
Time for Guyana to rise and shine. Oh God, we punished long enough. We punished without resources. We punished with resources. What happened? Y'all want this punishment continue? No, man. We can't make it happen. Can't let this punishment continue. Let me tell you something. A lot of people say, don't talk about the PPP. Focus on APNU. Yeah, focus on APNU, but what is the alternative? We got to tell people what. We got to tell people this is an exercise of choice. Don't let people get the impression that you're bullying them. You must be able to reason with them. Right? You must be able to reason with them. All this wickedness that you get in versus all this promise of good governance. We will continue to hear and we will continue to hear. We vex with the coalition, we vex with the Granger government. Granger government didn't deliver all that they could have. Fair enough. But they protected our children. Granger government didn't have the access to the resources that the PPP have. But they improved our quality of life. The PPP currently hopes to campaign on what the Granger government didn't do, or what the past PNC governments didn't do, and not on what they were able to do. Well, if you ask me, I'm telling you, if somebody come and talking about other people, it means they ain't got nothing good to say about themselves. And with all of these resources that these guys have access to, you mean they can't show you one good thing that they really did for this nation? You know what they're resorting to? Skullduggery. Like the last recount show in PPP stronghold areas. There were at least 47 boxes, I think I remember that number. The ballots inside that had no supporting documents. Them ballots just fall out of thin air, find themselves in boxes, marked majority for the PPP. It is magic. So that we realize from the recount that such magic takes place, and people are going to be more vigilant. What did the PPP do? They were forced to find a new way of rigging. And so they're finding new ways of rigging. Let me tell you how they're finding new ways of rigging. They say if you're a Commonwealth citizen, you come into a country, you could stay 1 year living in the country, and then you get a right to vote in that country. They're going to all them destination where they could find people like yourself, Sri Lanka and so on. And they're importing Indian workers or workers of Indian ancestry. Truck drivers, nurses, doctors, wherever you want to label them, they're bringing them healthcare workers and so on, they're bringing them. And they're treating them like indentured laborers. Because from the land, they're taking away their passport. From the land here, they're taking away the passport. And so they're forced to toe the line. Because if they don't toe the line, they're going to get ill-treated. The PPP is known for ill-treating people, especially those who dare to go against them. Check the Indo-Guyanese communities and they're going to give you the history of ill-treatment from PPP bullies and so on, especially around election time. Y'all check and see what the people at whatever the community name, the gated community that Amir Ahmad lives in, complaining of. Check and see the complaints of Amir Ahmad's neighbors and so on. And you're going to understand who we're talking about. Right? But yeah, so they're bringing in these large numbers of people. You see last week they were advertising for Indian males and females to come work in Ghana. You're offering them big money. Free food, free transportation, free housing. And in many instances, what they're doing is fast tracking. Maybe by backdating their date of entry and all of that. Making them qualified earlier to be on the voters list. And they're packing up the voters list with them. Obviously, if they're treating them like indentured immigrants, then they're instructing them that come day, y'all got to vote for us. Then you go in there, vote for the cup. They're doing likewise with the Spanish. And they expect Guyanese to be vigilant enough to challenge the authenticity of those people who turn up to vote in our elections, whether or not they're really eligible to vote in our elections. And so Big Nose dead foul, the AG that has the longest record of losses in this country, last week has been occupying the airwaves to tell people that it is a crime to obstruct any vote and it's 5 years and $5 million, 5 years in prison and $5 million in fine or something like that. Intimidation. So they expect to send a whole lot of ineligible people to vote in our elections. And they expect that vigilant people will object and resist. And so they're starting the campaign of intimidating us by telling us it's $5 million and 5 years in jail if you dare to. And so I'm alerting you, be woke. I want you to be aware of this also. Region 4, traditionally, is a major contributor to the victory of the opposition. Once the opposition wins Region 4, and any other 2 regions, I think, it wins the election. And so the PPP knows that. So the PPP has gone on a campaign of gerrymandering, rearranging boundary lines for votes, shifting boundaries to change electoral results through votes, and so on. In regions like Region 6, where the PPP knows they might have a superior number, they are taking people out of that region and bringing them to register in Region 4 and giving them non-existent addresses in Region 4, just so that they can register in Region 4 to influence the result in Region 4. So the rig is not only by fraudulent votes now. The rig is by gerrymandering, moving votes from one area and bringing them into another area. And it is important, it is absolutely important for our supporters to recognize and understand that in order to counteract that, we have to come out in our large numbers that we've never came out in before. 99% turnout we have to get in communities like Buxton and BV and so on, Region 4 communities. We have to ensure that our people come out in extremely large numbers. It's not sit back now and say, well, we got this. Or me all also gonna vote, so me gonna vote. Every single vote counts, and every single one of us must put our shoulder to the wheel to ensure we get the vote out. There's no doubt that the PPP and their friends and cronies will try to rig the election. But to nullify their efforts at rigging, we got to ensure that our numbers are so big out there that even their efforts at rigging will not have an impact on the result. Let us not lose sight of what the mission is. The mission is to remove the PPP from office at the September 1st election.
And it cannot be accomplished by leaders alone. It cannot be accomplished by singular votes alone. It has to be accomplished with a consolidation of votes and a coalition of parties and unity of purpose. It is now 25 minutes past the 8 o'clock hour. The lines are open. 6225933 is the number to call. And y'all are ready to tell me you have to preach to the young people. Guess what? We have to preach to the young people. We have to preach to the young people. All of us. We either have young people in our homes or young people in our neighbors' homes. Young people in our communities. All of us have to take the opportunity to reach out to our young people and reason with them. Because we got to say, if everybody gonna do it, nobody gonna do it. So let us each take responsibility for doing it. Again, the lines are opened.
Time to move up.
Follow the line.
APNU in the place. We put people first. Hey. Yeah, good morning, Kadaki, and to all of you, Comes TV family. My advice is that I hope a lot of young persons looked on at the funeral from yesterday. And I want them to understand that was a young black family that suffered the loss of their child, a wonderful child, at the hands of this regime. And I want them only not to see the death of Adriana as a death. This death must be sending a message to tell them that come election day, that they must all come out and they must bring out more than who attended that funeral yesterday and vote for a government who will not kill our young children. Because when you add up the amount of young children, Adriana, the boys of Linden, the Peters, and the other boy, the Bayou, the kill the day of the autopsy, the 19 Amerindian children, or in Boston, the Henry boys, those people who have been murdered, Quindon, Bacchus, and the rest. When you wipe out those set of children, those set of young people, you will not have a set of people now who could have added to your population. Lots of those people would have been voting this election. And I want us to understand that come the election is serious business. We go to the polls before 12 o'clock and cast our ballots for the right things. Not cast your ballot in such a way that it could come back to haunt you. The latest team who running to set the scoring points, check the background, check what they were doing, because when they had the people singing and going out and protesting, the same man who everybody think, I mean, is pure gold in Guyana, the team, he turned and said that after all, the people must realize that when they come out and protest, the business people cannot continue with the business, meaning that the black people who are out there protesting for Adriana, cutting business,
whenever you're done, he's a businessman. He didn't see those people out there protesting as well. They script the big scripts and that they stopping the progress of the country. No, he saw them, and if at a tragic moment like that, they had the team who want to be the president of the country could have seen those people who are protesting as a disgust and a set of people who are stopping the flow of the economical wealth in this country. Ask yourself where his duty will lie. If his presidency will look into the people's future or to the financial aspect of this country. Bye bye.
Morning, Kidaki, morning, Guyanese. Morning, all right thinking Guyanese. What Kidaki pertaining to all the problem that GCOM have with the opposition parties them. And I still hear people talking about this election and this election and this election. Come on, bro. We have to do something to prevent GCOM from going ahead with this election. Because this election is in favor of the PPP. Because GCOM doing everything in their power to put the PPP back in power. We Guyanese got to stop this thing. The party got to stop this blah 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 and get on the grounds and do something to stop these people from rigging this election. Because I can't see with all the problems that GCOM have, and yet we're still talking about election in the 1st of September. There's too much a problem. There's too much a problem in our society. You understand me? Too much a problem for we go ahead with the election. I think that Guyanese got to rise up. The parties then got to come together. Because if the parties may come together, this thing will never stop. They will go ahead with this election. And when the election results come out, every Guyanese is gonna sorry, especially black people. You understand me? And the same parties that you see don't want to join and be one in this country, this thing ain't looking good. This thing ain't looking good on the opposition part. It's not looking good. Everybody wants to be president. Everybody wants to be president, you know, that's running there. Come on, bro. It's not right y'all doing. Y'all dividing us. Y'all dividing the African votes them in this country. If y'all don't know, the PPP, we only gonna get votes from the PPP supporters them if you look carefully at what's going on in this country. Because you see the racialism thing in these PPP supporters them, and we can hardly get them. So we have to come together for get back our votes, especially African votes. We have to come together, and that is the only way we're gonna kick this PPP out of power. I don't know why all these small parties and it is the money guy is so stupid. Is the money guy is so backward? Coalition run this country already. Coalition government. And why it can happen again? I listened to Mr. Aubrey Norton on 2 programs last night. Oh my God, who more they can put in that man position? Who more they can talk? They can put in a man position. I look at you on a program from Barbados last night. They got nobody that they can put in this man's shoe. And I know why we can't come together with this man and form a genuine coalition party to get this PPP out of power. The PPP making a mockery out of us if we don't sit down and analyze. And I call now Mr. Niger Hughes this morning, despite of all what you have done, I telling you, I begging you, I asking you, join the APNU and the WPA. Join the PNC and the WPA. I look at your program last week with Mr. Norton and Dr. Hines. I look at your program last week with you all 3. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. It's not too late. Let me get this thing done. United we stand, divided we fall. Fall, man. Come on, Guyanese people. Come on, people, man. Oh my God. What's really wrong with us, man? What's really wrong with us? When we gonna get it right, man? When we gonna get it right? All the parties them gotta come together. all the parties them, these parties are popping up. I want to join together. Y'all cannot defeat the PPP. Y'all cannot defeat the PPP. The only party can defeat the PPP. Y'all gotta join with the PNC. The PNC is one of the most biggest forces you have in this country. Despite people running from PNC, but people still coming over back with PNC. So I want to know why y'all talking about people running from the PNC. The people who running, they have issue with Mr. Norton. They don't have issue with the people. The people they're supposed to put the people first before they put Mr. Norton first. There's a problem what they got. And they can't get to do the things to Mr. Norton like what they like what Armand and Ali done to Mr. Granger. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Listen to that man. Every forum Mr. Norton upon, he done well. He done well and he got nobody else in this country. Nobody else in this country can speak like that man as a opposition leader. Why y'all don't give the man a break? And y'all stop y'all covetous and long-heartedness. Come on, Guyanese people. Come on, man. Mr. Norton, do y'all nothing? You have an issue with the man. It's not about Mr. Norton. It's about the party. And it's about getting this instant government out of power, Guyanese people. That is our motive. Come on, bro. Let us wake up and smell the coffee. Let's wake up. Wake up, Guyanese. Wake up. Wake up, black people. Wake up. The clock is ticking. The clock is ticking. And we have to put things in place to GCOM to get it right. Because we cannot go into election with all these problems that GCOM having. And you guys have an excellent day.
Kadaki, blessings and good morning to you and our Guyanese listeners and listeners from the diaspora, from the four corners of the world. Kadaki, I listened to you this morning. Listen to you carefully. I believe everything you said. Kadaki, if when the PPP lost this election, in which I know they will lose, because God have a hands in this, you can't do wrong things for long, you know. You can't do wrong things for long. You don't think that is right for these things should be held in the court of law, and the perpetrators should be vanished away from taking part in election, like Nanlal, Ali, and Jagdeo. Karaki, people in Guyana seeing and knowing what is going on. They're seeing every day what it is taking place. And our people still going and supporting them to do us evil. Look at this bald-head guy who said he was in the APNU for 20-something years. And he chose to go over to support the PPP to do his people injustice. Karaki, he's a bottom African. And seeing that how he share a man's view. But if a man's left the PNC because of whatever, I don't know. Amanza is conscious. Amanza know what is taking place. And Amanza, she didn't go and line herself with these racial criminals. The PPP is not a party, you know. The PPP is a cult. It's a cult. And the principles is money and blood. So these black folks that go and align themselves with them, they initiate them. There's a lot of PPP members who want to quit the party and come and join, but where they will go, because they do have a good track record. The majority of them is murderers. Some of them is thieves. Some of them is rapists. Mr. Norton didn't want them because of the track records. Nigel Hughes doesn't want them. And David Hines, he doesn't want them. So where they will go? Kakaraki, it's sad enough to know that some of our people seeing what it is going on a day-to-day basis and still going and align themselves with these kind of people. But the evidence are there. These kind of people are not good. And mark my words, I know that they will lose. If they know if but no maybe. The PPP could do what they want. They could go in the bottom of hell. God is greater than them. My God is greater than them. And my God will give us victory in no other name, but in Jesus' name. Karaki, I'm out and listening.
Yeah, brother Kadaki, my contribution this morning is calling upon all the youths to strengthen the self, holy faith, and think about the future, because if the youths them make this thing get away and left them and telling you, y'all ain't clean gutter. And don't bother with God. God bigger than gutter. You understand? God self is bigger than gutter, but the ones who clean in the gutter, y'all pull up yourself and understand cleaning gutter is not a choice. This thing is the NDC. People have to work. If the country have to clean up, the NDC got to take 100 and something people to pay every fortnight or every month to keep the country clean. The NDC have to do that. Have to have worker, tractor, truck, you know what I mean? Broom, rake, and all them things for the NDC. For let workers come in. Why are you treating workers like when cleaning trenches alone? No, maintenance we want to get paid for. Maintenance money bigger than the money we're working for the couple of hours in the drain. Check it up and see. The maintenance work is better money than the one who going and clean for just a weekend or a couple of weeks, and by the time you look back, so the thing nasty again. We gotta think about maintenance, safety, my young people, safety. Yeah, where's about? Think about it.
Thank you for the voice notes, Sam. The lines are open. 6225923 is the number to call. It is 17 minutes to the 9 o'clock hour. You're tuned to the Guyanese Morning Time. I am your host, Kiraki Amsterdam. Let those calls come.
From Essex straight to Berbice, Guyana people want justice and peace. From quarantine water to Demerara.
Say you heard it here first. Call you on. Good morning.
Morning, Kadaki, morning. Months ago, I had mentioned about a certain individual who spoke to a friend of mine and said that they're going to cross over, but waiting until they get the duty-free concession, etc. Well, she finally did it. Natasha Singh. I won't even call in Lois' name in it. Natasha Singh. She finally did it. And I mentioned it on this program. And she had, the climate was so prime for her to do it because with all that is going on. So she used that as an excuse. But she had already said that she's going to leave. He's encouraging my friend. My friend asked if she's crazy. Right? That's one. I listened to that program last night, and I'm optimistic with Dr. Hines, Mr. Hughes, and Mr. Norton. And I'm optimistic that we're going to have a coalition. And from listening the words that coming out of Mr. Hughes about it's not his decision. If he had to make a decision, he would have done it already. So we know who the players in it. All right. Dr. Hines said something interesting though. He talked about influencers, so-called influencers. That was his exact word. And I've been saying this thing about these so-called influencers who craft the minds of our voters who are not independent thinkers, and they twist their minds away from themselves and to vote against themselves and to vote for continued oppression of themselves. And these influencers, and he actually was talking about these influencers here who live in a chummy life, or so-called, I should say, chummy life. They will not have to face the suffering that these people minds that they have thwarted and twisted. Right? So people, think for yourself. Compare your life with these people's life right now as we speak. Compare your life with these people over here, like these people call themselves influencers, like right now as we speak, and see who's living a better life and who's going to leave to come and live the life that you're living on the PPP. If they're going to leave here to come and live that life that you're living. So people, think for yourself, please. I heard one of them crazy one yesterday saying some nonsense about PNC did nothing for Guyana other than drive fear into Indian people's lives. I won't go down and break down why he said what he said after that, but I'm going to say something to him. Right? He said that everybody that PNC make PVP people always tell the children fear black man. But hear me, brother. Every race tell their kids that. I have a girl who told me that her parents, a Mexican girl who told me that her parents said, do not date a black man. Chinese will tell you black people nasty, black people this, blah, blah, blah. We, in the entire world, fear us. But we're the most loving people. We have never ever enslaved nobody, never ever bombed nobody place, never ever punished nobody. We ain't savage like the rest of them. So to you, so-called influencer, continue with it with what you're saying about our people. Continue. You're gonna end up in a good place. That's all I have to say.
Thank you for your call. Just because I could respond to that Flash Garden something, I've heard that allegation many moons ago that I discriminate them. They call in and I ain't answering them. If you call at the right time, you're gonna get answer at the right time. So there we go. I was about to answer one of them and you hung up at the same time. What are you gonna do? I can't do nothing but though. The lines remain open 6225933 is the number to call. You tune to the Guyanese Morning Time. I am your host, Kiraki Amsterdam. I can't stop you from thinking what you want to think. But all I can say is that I don't discriminate. Something is happening. I see cars are popping up and popping out. Y'all bluffing me or y'all didn't pay y'all internet bill. And all that I'm talking about paying internet bill, y'all better jump into the Cash App and the Zelle there. Right? I want to give you all a challenge. Start calling me to tell me why people must vote for the coalition. And stop telling me about the PPP. And why people must vote for the coalition. Share with our viewers your reason for voting for the coalition. Are you understanding me? Testify to somebody why you think the coalition is a good choice. And stop spending your precious time call you on. Good morning. Something going on here, man. What's going on?
Yes. Good morning, Mr. Kadaki. Good morning.
Call you on. Good morning.
The program that I watched last night, I'm cautiously optimistic. Because it doesn't seem like we have a definite decision as yet. And but I'm still optimistic because I must be optimistic. But I would like to send a message to Mr. Hughes. Mr. Hughes, we know that you are, well, of course, you are the leader of this party, and we understand that you cannot make unilateral decisions. But I must say, I know you have influence as a leader, and as a well-respected attorney, and I think you should strongly speak to some of your members, and try hard to convince them. Because you know that you've admitted that your party is not as strong as it was before, and you know you cannot win this election on your own. And you going against this party, these two parties. I mean, you going all by yourself and the coalition on their own. they stand a better chance of not being successful. And your party even the worst. So with that, I know we all don't want that for the country, Guyana. So I'm appealing to you to speak to your members, particularly the ones at the top of the hill. Maybe if you could propose maybe a different deal to see if maybe you could get another ministry or something like that, or something else. But allow this thing to happen. Allow the coalition, promote the coalition. And the person who's chosen for the second spot on the ticket, she is from your party anyhow. I mean, maybe say she might have resigned, but she is still from your party. Fundamentally, is your party still? And this is a good pick. So I'm appealing to you, Mr. Hughes, if you could speak to your top people, and let's get it on. That's my time. Thank you, Mr. Gaddafi.
Thank you for your call. The lines are opened. See, now is the time to call y'all and calling. You see what I'm saying? You have to understand timing. Call you on. Good morning.
Morning, Gaddafi. Morning, Guyana. I'm making some observation here, and what I have seen, and if I'm wrong, please tell me. African Guyanese compared to Indian Guyanese, and the way African Guyanese run to other ethnicity, and I think I don't see the reverse. Indian Guyanese simply don't do what African Guyanese do, and which would tells me we have a serious problem, right? How do you support an Indian man, right? And all he does is, I guess, throw around a little money here, there, and everything like that, and we just run. And just like the previous caller says with influencers, I just don't get it. Why and how they have actually thrown their weight behind everybody else, especially African influencers, against the African party, which is, the PNC. So you do not see that much backbiting on the Indian side. But for us as a people, it just tells me we are some type of stupid people. I see race every friggin' day. But guess what? We've been taught to not see race. Those other people see race. So I do not have a lot of respect for a lot of our people because we are always this passive and think that everything not. We don't even know what the hell Muhammad policies would be. But yet still, we're going to lend and give our support to him. That is so stupid. And then we come up with this consensus bull. We don't even know what Terence Campbell policies would be. But we hear likability. Again, we are so, just in my plain term, just stupid. And until we get sense, we're going to continue to be sentenced. And that's my take.
Thank you for your
time to rise up, time to move up. APNU in the place. We put people first. From Essequibo straight to Berbice, Guyana people want justice and peace. From quarantine water to Demerara shore, we tie promises, we want more. No more lies, no more disguise. It's time for we dreams to realize. We coming strong with people power. APNU our, this is we our. APNU, say people first. We not gonna stop till the blessings. putting people first. Time to rise up, break the curse. Future bright like a brand new day. We join lead in a real big way. And you say people first, from the top to the bottom. Love, unity, blazing, vision clear. Guyanese strong, no space for fear. We got the rhythm, we got the fire, lifting every village higher and higher. No more fights, no more delay. We come to build Guyana today. From Bush to Bartica base, every face got a place in this race. We done with the brokenness, done with the slack. We're taking the country forward, no turning back. Who you voting? APNU. Why we voting? Tell the nation. Let we go and claim the prize. APNU, we putting people first. Time to rise up, break the curse. Future bright like a brand new day. We join lead in a real big way. APNU, say people first. From the top to the bottom, of unity blazing, vision clear. Guyanese strong, no space for fear. Every youth, every elder stand tall. This Guyana belong to us all. From the market woman to the king cutter hand, we building up this blessed land. APNU got the plan, got the drive. Putting people first, keeping up alive. So wind up, jump up, move with pride. We waving fem flag nationwide. Say, are you ready? Are you ready? Say, we go vote. Say, APNU. APNU. People first. APNU, we putting people first. Time to rise up, break the curse. Future bright like a brand new day. We join lead in a real big way. APNU, say people first. From the top to the bottom, of unity blazing, vision clear. Guyanese strong, no space for fear. We outside in sun and rain. We putting people first again. APNU, we lead the line. Time for Guyana to rise and shine. Hey, Guyana, time to rise up, time to move up. APNU in the place, we put people first. From Essequibo straight to Berbice, Guyana people want justice and peace. From quarantine water to Demerara shore, we tie up promises, we want more. No more lies, no more disguise. It's time for we dreams to realize. We coming strong with people power. APNU our, this is we our. APNU, say people first. We not gonna stop till the blessings burst. APNU, we putting people first. Time to rise up, break the curse. Future bright like a brand new day. We join lead in a real big way. APNU, say people first. From the top to the bottom, love, unity blazing, vision clear. Guyanese strong, no space for fear. We got the rhythm, we got the fire, lifting every village higher and higher. No more fights, no more delay. We come to build Guyana today. From Bush to Bartica base, every face got a place in this race. We done with the brokenness, done with the slack. We're taking the country forward, no turning back. Who you voting? APNU. Why we voting? Tell the nation. Let we go and claim the prize. APNU, we putting people first. Time to rise up, break the curse. Future bright like a brand new day. We join lead in a real big way. APNU, say people first. From the top to the bottom, of unity blazing, vision clear. Guyanese strong, no space for fear. Every youth, every elder stand tall. This Guyana belong to us all. From the market woman to the king cutter hand, we building up this blessed land. APNU got the plan, got the drive. Putting people first, keeping up alive. So wind up, jump up, move with pride. We waving fem flag nationwide. Say, are you ready? Are you ready? Say, we go vote. Say, APNU. People first. APNU, we putting people first. Time to rise up, break the curse. Future bright like a brand new day. We join lead in a real big way. APNU, say people first. From the top to the bottom, of unity blazing, vision clear. Guyanese strong, no space for fear. We outside in sun and rain. We putting people first again. APNU, we lead the line. Time for Guyana to rise and shine.
It's time for Guyana to rise and shine, morning. Are you morning? Welcome to another program of Guyanese Morning Time. I am your host, Kidaki Amsterdam. How are you doing? How was I here last night? How was I here yesterday? Yesterday we had some rain, didn't we? Yeah, how was I here last night? How was I here yesterday? How are you feeling today? How things, people? Y'all talk to me. It's 23 minutes to the 8 o'clock hour, and it's the 24th day of June in the year 2025. It's elections year. June is the 6th month. We are almost done with that. We got, well, a couple days left, but a week left. Yeah, we got about a week left in June. And then we got the 7th month, and so we got about, I'd say we got about 2 months in election. June and July, because elections are, not June and July, July and August. Elections are on the 1st of September. As a result of that election decision, date for election being the 1st of September, schools are now scheduled to reopen on the 8th, I think, of September. The educators will tell you that. I only just peep into the business every now and again. Every now and again, I peep into the business. Big up the educators! We love y'all. Most teachers are going to be, most teachers are usually GCOM workers. Because they say y'all are the smartest beings on the face of the earth. Don't let your run the cuss y'all this time. I'm begging y'all, don't let run the cuss y'all this time. Y'all do y'all work to the letter. Stick to the letter of the law. Right? I see Court de Silva is saying the letter of the law says exactly what you need to do with the journalist, how you need to treat the journalist. But like some people done so today, some people intellectually lazy, or they're trying to pull a fast one. Which one? What do you think it is? I believe they're pulling a fast one. I think they're really trying to pull a fast one. Right? I think they're really trying to pull a fast one. Roper is very clear on the journalist and leaves no room for deviation on the allocation of seats. This is Court de Silva talking to us. Right? A little longish read, but I'm going to read it for y'all because, listen, education is key. Education is power. Right? Education is power. And since the questions were asked, when GCOM met the quote-unquote small parties, oh, no, not small parties. Let me be honest. Let me be accurate, that is. When GCOM met the contestants and the several small parties asked the question, what if we decide to form a join the list? How y'all going to treat with it? How y'all going to treat with it? Who gets to name the occupant for the seat? And you know that thing has been a thorn in the flesh of the three parties, I think. Anog, whoever Ashekisum party, the name, Naked Skin Man party, and so on and so forth. Anyways, that thing has left a bad taste in the mouth of people when it comes to joiner. Because that girl Ashekisum just gonna sit down there like the seat in parliament was willed to her by her parents. Well, I don't even know if her parents, well, let me say her forefathers and mothers, because they are ancestors, right? Because I can't say if her parents are dead or alive, and I don't want to be accused of any such. On 19 June 2025, 16 political parties met with GCOM to get information in relation to general and regional elections to be held in Guyana later this year. One of the issues that was reportedly raised was that of, quote, join the lists, unquote, and the allocation of seats won in such instances. This letter is written in the hope that it would provide some clarity on the law in Guyana on what must be done in such cases. Section 97(4) of the Representation of the People's Act, ROPA, which is the act that makes provision for the election of members of the National Assembly, provides that, quote, for the purposes of the foregoing provisions of this section, a combination of lists shall be treated as one list, end quote. This means that when the 65 seats of the National Assembly are allocated to all the lists of candidates submitted by the various parties, where two or more parties joined their list into a combination of lists, Pursuant to Section 22 of VOPA, that combination of lists is treated as if it were one list, as if it was one list. We do the math right now, what do you think, right? However, Section 97.5 then provides that, quote, the seats allocated to a combination of lists shall be allocated among the lists comprised in the combination in accordance with subsection 2 and 3. The electoral quota for that purpose being the whole number found by dividing the total number of votes cast for the combination of lists by the number of seats allocated to the combination, end quote. This means that whatever seats are allocated to a combination of lists does not remain as a unified allocation. Instead, what must occur is a second allocation where those seats are then distributed among the joinder parties using the same process as was used in the first allocation under Section 97.2 and 3. Therefore, 1, or I, an electoral quota is calculated, this time being the whole number found by dividing the total number of votes cast for the list in the combination by the number of seats allocated to the combination. The number of votes cast for each list is then divided by the electoral quota, and seats are allocated to those lists based on the whole number resulting from that division. Where one seat remains after 2 above, it is awarded to the list with the highest surplus among the lists in the combination. 4, where 2 or more seats remain after the allocation in 2, that is II, the first seat is awarded to the list in the combination of lists with the highest surplus. The second seat to the second highest surplus. The third seat to the third highest surplus, etc., until all seats are allocated. As an example, consider a scenario where 3 parties form a combination of lists. Party A gets 3,000 votes, Party B gets 1,000 votes, and Party C gets 500 votes. Together, they receive 4,500 votes and are allocated 3 seats. The seats are to be allocated among them as follows. The electoral quota is 4,500 divided by 3, which gives 1,500. When dividing by the electoral quota, Party A would get 3,000 divided by 1,500, which is equal to 2 seats, with no surplus votes. Party B would get 1,000 divided by 1,500, which is equal to 2/3, and therefore no seat under this step. And Party C would get 500 divided by 15, which is equal to 1/3, and therefore no seat under this step. Since one seat remains after II above, that seat would go to the party with the highest surplus after II. Since Party A has no surplus votes, Party B would have the highest surplus with 1,000, so that seat would go to Party B. Party C would get no seat. In the same scenario, if only one seat had been awarded to that combination, the electoral quota would be 4,500 divided by 1, and since no one party would have gotten 4,500 votes, the seat would be allocated to Party A, since that list would have the highest surplus. There's also no allowance for the sharing of any seat by more than one list of candidates. Section 99A provides that where a seat becomes vacant before Parliament is dissolved, that vacancy must be filled by a person from the list in which was included the name of the member of the assembly vacating his seat, or who was not qualified to hold that seat. Thus, a person from another list in a combination of lists or any other list cannot fill such a vacancy. The person must be from the same list as the person vacating the seat. The joinder of lists differs from the formation of a coalition, where 2 or more parties come together to submit one list of candidates, and any seats awarded to the coalition list is distributed within the coalition. The key differences between a coalition and a combination of lists are laid out in the table below. No coalition combination of lists, that's the joinder. One list of candidates is submitted by the coalition. A different list of candidates is submitted by each party in the combination. 2, there's one presidential candidate and one representative of the list. Each list has a different presidential candidate and a different representative of the list in the joinder. 3, votes cannot be cast for the individual parties in the coalition. Votes may be cast for any of the individual parties in the combination in a joinder. 4, votes must be cast for coalition as a whole, as the constituent parties do not submit separate lists. Joinder, Votes cannot be cast for the combination as a whole, as each party in the combination submits its own list of candidates. 5. Votes are counted for the coalition as a whole. Votes are counted for each list in the joinder and added together for the initial allocation of seats. 6. Seats are allocated to the coalition as a whole. Seats are first allocated to the combination, then further allocated to the lists in the combination in cases of the joinder. 7. The one representative of the list extracts persons from the coalition list to fill the seats allocated. The representative of each list to which seat or seats have been allocated in the joinder extract the required name or names from their own list to fill the seats. 8. Any person on the list submitted by the coalition can be extracted to fill the seats allocated. Only persons on the list to which a seat or seats has been allocated may be extracted to fill that seat or seats in instances of a joinder. While GCOM itself must formally address this matter, it can only do so in accordance with the provisions of the law. And in the case of how it should treat with joinder lists, referred to in ROPA as a combination of lists, the law is very clear and leaves no room for either GCOM or the parties themselves to treat with the allocation of seats in a different manner. Y'all get it there? Y'all get it there? Good. So that was Court de Silva's letter to Starbuck News. In case y'all didn't understand what Court is saying, what said the law says simple. A joinder list is a combination of lists. If in an instance 3 parties submit the application for joinder lists, actually what happens is votes are cast to those parties individually, but they are computed together at the end of the election, right? They're computed together at the end of the election, but not just anyhow. You first total the votes cast at each list, and then you take those totals and you add them up. So Tom Jones gets 10 mangoes, Harry Lal gets 15 mangoes, and Priya Prasad gets 5 mangoes. We get 10 plus 15 is 25, plus 5 we get 30 mangoes. That's for the combination, that's for the joinder. But if you look at the parties individually, you will see one got 10, one got, what did I say, 15, and the other got 5, right? Good. So having decided now that here they get 30 mangoes, the next step is to divide the 30 mangoes by the number of them who came together to get 30 mangoes. I'm hearing average there. How many of you are so mathematically versed that you recognize it's finding the average? And so you take that 3,000 or 30 and you divide it by 3, you get an average of 10. So an average of 10 is what will give you a seat. So you then take that 10 and you divide the 30. And that 30 will give you 3. So they got 3 seats. Right? Now, how these 3 seats getting allocated? You go back to the individual votes cast per party. You recognize that? You go back to the individual votes cast per party. And so you look at that party with 10 mangoes, you divide it by 10 because that's the average per seat, and they will get 1 seat. You go to the party with 15 mangoes, they divide by 10, they will get 1 seat, 1.5 seat, but there's no 0.5 seat, so they will get 1 seat too. And so 1 seat is left back. The person that got 5 seats, the list that got 5 mangoes doesn't qualify for a seat. Because if you divide that 10 by 5, you're going to get half. So that list doesn't qualify for any seat. But you have remainders. So you look at which of the those who got seats basically has the highest remainder. And then you will see the one that had 10 mangoes, the one that had 50 mangoes, actually has 5 remaining, and the one that had 10 mangoes ain't got none remaining. So the one that has 5 remaining gets the additional seat. I recognize something they call rounding up again, but let me don't do the mathematics. But let me explain it quickly to you if you want to have the explanation. When you divide that 50 mango by 10, you get 1.5. Mathematics say anything 0.5 and more, you round up to the next whole number. And so 1.5 seats rounded up to the next whole number is 2 seats. Right? And I think that is why they say the greatest remainder. Because somebody could have gotten 8 left back. So that would be 1.8. 1.8 is bigger than 1.5. So you round up again to the nearest whole number. Y'all recognize that argument? It came from Nigel in the China's case. But a lot of intellectually lazy people were throwing cold water in it. And I've always insisted that Nigel knew what he was saying and Nigel understood maths. And Nigel got it mathematically correct. Whether it was politically correct or not, or politically correct or perhaps legislatively correct is another thing. I can't argue about the law. But I'm saying mathematically it was correct. Right? Good. So if you look at this journalist thing, if your chances of getting no seat as an individual party in the election is high, the possibility of you getting no seat no seat as an individual party in the joint list is just as high. Are you recognizing that? Let me explain it to you if you don't recognize it. If the jump ship party, let me call it a jump ship party, is likely to not attract enough voters to give it a seat in the National Assembly by itself, when it joined with the small man party and the selfish man party, who might be a little more popular than it still stands a chance of getting no seat in the National Assembly. Because why? When you join those votes together at the end of the election, the possibility is, as the jump ship party, you will still have the smallest number of votes in that combination. And if you have the smallest number of votes in that combination, you know you gotta wait for last before anything could come your way. And you know what is the other thing there? If one out of those 3 parties in the joiner manages to be allocated all of the seats based on their votes, the other 2 will get nothing according to the law as described by Court de Silva. Then I know what we used to call it, consolation prize there. There's no consolation prize. You're supposed to have having also participated or also participated. So you have no chance, according to the law, of getting into the National Assembly. Because the law says only that list that the seat has been allocated to can provide a replacement if that seat becomes vacant in the National Assembly. So in other words, that law was observed in the breach, and Court de Silva did say that, I think, in one of these election cases. That law was observed in the breach in the National Assembly, current National Assembly. Because it was analog, it was, I can't remember the party name, Schumann Party, whoever Schumann Party the name, Alashikisum Party, whoever that party the name. And I think it is APNU that got the most votes in that combination. But APNU said, well, Schumer, you go first. Right? We divide this one vote. What APNU did is divided the total that gave them that one seat. They divided it based on the number of votes that each joined the party contributed to the seat. And then they took the 5-year term, 4-year term, and divided it by that fraction. So let's do a little math this morning. This is a little math we're doing. We gotta understand this thing because education is supposed to change behavior. So let's say, let me use the number 12. They got 12 votes. They got 12 votes. Of that 12 votes, APNU got 6. Schumer party got 4. And TNM, according to Dennis, got 2. So that's 12. That accounts to 12. Right? If you divide 12 by 6, you will get 2. Right? No, I want to divide 12 by 3. It's 3 of them. If you divide 12 by 3, you will get 4. 4 out of 12 as well. That's 1/3, right? Then you come to, I lose my track of mine. Then you come to, who got what? 4. Divide, what did I say? Divide 12 by 3, you get 4. 4 out of 4. 4 over 4 is, nah, I'm losing myself in this math. I wind up terrible. But in short, listen, if you look at it, 6 out of 12 is half. It means APNU will get half the term ahead. Let me go the way. APNU is supposed to get half the term, half of the 4 years. So APNU is supposed to spend 2 years in parliament. 4 out of 12 is 1/3. 1/3 of a year is what? 4 months. 1/3 of 4 years actually, right? 1/3 of 4 is 1.3333. A year and a third, probably 15 months is what the one with 4 votes would have gotten, and the one with 2 votes would have gotten 1/6. 1/6 of 12 is 2 months, something like that. And so that is what APNU did. And say, well, all right, Schumer, you go first. You got the second largest amount, I think. TNM, you go next. You ain't got much. And once you complete your 6 months or whatever, we will take over and we will go for the rest of the period. That was in a breach of the law. That was not supposed to happen. The list that had the highest number of votes, which would have been APNU, is the list that should have gotten the seat according to court decision. And so here it is, you have a constitutional body known as the Guyana Elections Commission allocating seats in a manner that is in breach of the law. And nobody has sought to challenge the behavior of this commission in the court of law and ask that it be disbanded. Nobody has sought the dissolution of this commission because they were acting outside of the law. And so again, I'm saying education is supposed to change behavior. I hope we are going to pay keen attention this time around to see how they will deal with the joiner list. Because that question is still out there for the jury. GCOM has not responded to the small parties or those inquiring as to how the seats will be allocated in a joiner. Who gets to name the parliamentarian resulting from a seat allocation? Court de Silva has indicated what should happen. The representative of the list of that party which has the highest number of votes in the joiner is the one who gets to name the occupant of the seat. Right? Gladys Prasad is asking how many votes you have to get to have a seat in parliament. I think it is usually calculated by the voting population divided by 65. Right? Whatever the voting population is, divided by the number of seats available, that should give you the allocation or the approximate amount that you require to get a seat. Those specialists on this program, if I said something incorrectly, you are free to correct me. Right? But it's like if you got 100 mangoes and you got 10% that gotta get a mango. How do you decide? If you got 100 mangoes and you got shared among 10%, how do you decide how many mangoes will go to each person? You take the 100 and you divide by 10. Right? And you arrive at each person will get 10 mangoes, assuming you want to share it fairly, equally. Good. Right, so that is the story there in terms of the joiner. But I want viewers, voters in particular, to pay attention to the disadvantage of supporting a joiner list. Because even if you support a joiner list, there is no guarantee that the party that you support will get into the National Assembly. There's no guarantee. And so there's no guarantee again. Well, I've already said that. No journalist can change the government. Journalists might be able to contribute to a hung parliament in that it takes so many votes out and holds a seat, as they call it, balance of power. And again, if you look at it, that you see, that's why I like my education, you know, on the School of Hard Knocks. We had a similar situation, you know, in the National Assembly, this current National Assembly, where Schumann, or the opposition in the name of the joiner, let me just put it down as a representative of the joiner list in the National Assembly, held a balance of power. They held a balance of power. But they chose to use that one seat that they had, in all instances if possible, to support the PPP. Right? Well, Winston Jordan is making an interesting point here, in that the seats can only be allocated in accordance with the law. Court de Silva interpreted the law correctly. However, the intent of the law could never have been how it is being interpreted. After all, why would I join with someone if I don't get a benefit? So the law has to be amended to reflect the true intentions of the framers of the Constitution. You know, Winston Jordan, let me be a little facetious this morning. How do you know the true intentions of the framers are not in keeping with the interpretation? I'm from a school that says there's interpretation, there's interpretation. But I guess there's a big argument that we can get for the rest of our time on earth until such time that people decide that they want to amend it to reflect differently. Right? Good. But I'm saying to people, those of you tell yourself, okay, I'm gonna support one of the giant parties because they're gonna combine the votes and me representative will get into parliament anyhow. No, sir. No, sir. Based on this interpretation, if the list that you want to support stands a very small chance of getting into parliament by itself, then it still stands a very small chance of getting into parliament on a joint list. Right? Understand that. Good. Instead of throwing your vote down the drain, or I dare say gambling with your vote, I mean, every vote, quite frankly, might be a gamble. But instead of gambling your vote with the least possibility of returns on a joint list, I'd say throw your vote in a coalition. Because the coalition is treated as one. The coalition is treated as one. Once you have a coalition or coalition, I see a lot of ignorance going on YouTube, Facebook there just now this morning. Somebody laughing Azruddin Mohammed because he said his party will not be coalescing with, well, he said no. That is where I would laugh if I want to laugh. It should be any. His party is not going to be coalescing with any political party. And those from the school of intellectual laziness laughing him on because he said coalition is where the word come from. Right? We like to talk about collating with each other. Collate. From my learning, the proper use is coalesce. To coalesce is to come together. Right? I know we got to coalesce. Well, coalesce is a verb. Collation has to be the noun, right? But let me don't go into this English lesson this morning. I know Jordan is a big English man. You don't get a chance. Yeah. So I'm saying throw those votes in a coalition. Because the coalition votes are treated as one and the same. All of the parties make that decision prior, before submitting the list to GCOM, that here, we are going to pool our efforts together. We are going to send to GCOM one list of the people we want to represent us. Some from you, some from you, some from you. In this instance, some from the WPA, some from the APNU. Well, the APNU got a whole lot of parties within, right? So you're going to be, right, let me just say some from the APNU. Is WPA, APNU contesting this election? My understanding is, however, they will be using the APNU symbol. Right, good. So hear me. Some from every member of the coalition. So if you have 15 parties in the coalition, each of those 15 parties gets to send a representative or two or whatever the allocated number based on negotiation and so on and so forth. Is who you're talking to, Flash Garden. It's who Flash asking if they went to university, same university with the president. So show your support behind that one list. Because in that one list, you can't tell for a fact in that one list the person you like got the least number of votes. You can't tell that for a fact. And if the leader of the list can't tell for a fact who got what. And so when the time comes to extract representatives from the list, the leader can't be considering who got what. The leader has to be considering competence. Who most fits the bill there? Who most fits the bill here? Who most fits the bill down there? The only limiting factor there, I will say, is what was negotiated for. How many, or what percentage, let me say what percentage of the seats will go to WPA, for example? What percentage of the seats will go to APNU, for example? And so you, based on your agreed percentage, you work out how many seats will go to APNU, how many seats will go to WPA, and then you work out, you extract from the list. Of course, one of the fallouts with the WPA and the APNU in the last election cycle was the right to decide who gets extracted on behalf of the party. I don't foresee that being a fight in this current construct of things. I don't perceive that being a fight. I think it has been agreed that, hey, we ain't want that kind of fight. Of course, you send your representatives, you got the right to decide which one of them should go ahead. So my encouragement is back the coalition. On the journalist thing, it's going to put you in trouble. And there is a distinction that was made, quite frankly. I keep explaining to people that a lot of people say, why they don't join the seats after the election? Because joining your seats after the election does not allow you to remove the government or replace the government or win the government. It gives you a greater number in the National Assembly. But the National Assembly is not the government. It's a part of the government. It's an arm of government. That's the legislative. But who really pulls the purse strings and everything in this country as government is the administrative. Them who just run the thing day to day. And if you want to turn things around in this country, you might as well get control of running the things day to day. And if you want to run things day to day, then you have to get the superior number at the end of the election. To get the superior number at the end of the election, you got to put in the work. You got to get the support. And so don't let nobody say, but you can join your numbers after the election. Yeah, they're not going to give you the government. You have to ensure that solid block of votes if you want the government. And I'm saying to you folks, ensure we get that solid block of votes to get the government. But it wasn't no Pacachulo. You know very well why he said there should be no coalition after the elections. Because those of you who are students of history would know that it is that which put the PNC in power in the early years, 19 whenever it was, when Noah was a boy. Because they formed a coalition with the, what was Manzu party by? UF, the United Force, after the election. The Gara at the time, right? Again, the history buffs could correct me if I call in the wrong names. The Gara at the time. They coalesced with the Gara and they beat out Jagan and the PPP. And after Bonham recognized that, listen, in this country, no one party will get enough votes to stay on top if the smaller parties, as we like to call them, water coolies. You say, hey, after now, we ain't doing this thing, so you can't call this after. You can't call this before. And we are stuck with that. And I'm saying any group of politicians who really got this country's interest at heart and wants to give the people their will, a real democracy, a true democracy, you will dare to change that. Like Suriname and say, well, listen, y'all could come together after the election to run this country. How many parties came together to put Santoki out of government? Assuming he out of government, because the last thing they weren't conclusive, right? 6 or 7 political parties had to pool their votes together to get Santoki out. And the woman, whatever her name was, is she Brown? I can't remember her name. She has the larger block of votes, and so she is likely to be president. Are you following me? So don't let me talk about the coalition thing and coalition after. Let me fix it now. And so we going in as a solid block, and we give him we vote to a solid block. Good. There are benefits to be had from supporting a coalition. You look at the current coalition, proposed coalition. Is it yet written in stone? If you look at the current coalition, you have Aubrey Norton, Afro-Guyanese, Joetta Finance, or let me say Afro-Guyanese male, Joetta Finance, female, indigenous, youth. She wears a lot of caps there. This president and prime minister, David Hines, Afro-Guyanese, male, old school perhaps. Those are the 3 what did I say? High officers of the coalition currently. I'm not even sure if that's the label to give them. But those are 3. You have representatives there from 3 demographics, if I can call it that. Danish Maipal, I'm sure, will play a very integral role in that leadership there. Because Indo-Guyanese representation must be acknowledged, and their existence must be acknowledged and must be catered for, and will be catered for. And so in that coalition, you have the different segments of society represented. And so when it comes to governance, the different segments of society can say, well, here, we know for a fact we got a representative sitting around that table in the coalition. And we expect that representative to represent and to be given the opportunity and the freedom to represent. That's a benefit in itself. So again, for me, throw your thing, support the coalition. Each of you be a campaigner for the coalition. And like I keep telling you, when you put them in government, hold them accountable. Hold them accountable. Don't just put them in there, left them. Keep them on their toes every day of the week. That is how you get good governance. At 21 minutes past 8 o'clock, over the lines are open. 6225933 is the number to call. APNU is it? APNU is it.
Hey, Guyana, time to rise up, time to move up. APNU in the place, we put people first. From Essequibo straight to Berbice, Guyana people want justice and peace. From quarantine water to Demerara. Disguise. It's time for we dreams to realize.
Caller.
We coming strong with people power.
Yes. Good morning.
You're on. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone in Guyanese diaspora. Good morning to our Guyanese. I'm wondering, because there is an issue of smaller parties having equitable reach. Persons were complaining at a recent meeting at GCOM a few days ago that because of logistical difficulties having transportation or etc. to reach these far-flung parts of Guyana, a smaller party is having a difficulty reaching these places to lawfully qualify and contend according to GCOM's rules. You need to be meet the requirements to contend in these regions. And as a result of that, they have to join on or correlate with the bigger parties who have the reach, established reach in these far-flung parts of Guyana. So, Mr. Amsterdam, maybe you could help me on this. And we're trying to talk to the people because it goes along the line of how we vote. Here is why. Because if you're voting for a party and a party doesn't have the reach to qualify, to even make a dent, to even get traction, then your vote is really going in vain. You're voting in the wrong place. If I could say that. You vote how you choose. But you want to go with a good vehicle that can get you an all-terrain vehicle. APNU is an all-terrain. Back dam, main street, mountainous. Now, while you may want to go with a small vehicle, the small vehicle probably can't go in the back dam. But it looks good on the street. So while you want to make an impact, while you want your vote to be counted, you're better off getting in the PNC's vehicle, the APNU's vehicle with the WPA. Vehicle that got good traction, that can reach all over. And so deciding how we vote, these factors come into play. Mr. Amsterdam, maybe you could tell us, probably later on, which parties are having that difficulties. Maybe if you know. I heard Nigel London saying his party had some difficulties. He said that in front of GCOM a few days ago. So I'm wondering, who is he going to collate to it? He has to collate. He said he would have to collate. At least he inferred that. In so many words, he said that much. And so parties. So how are they going to be able to do what they want to do? They got to link up with somebody. I know the PPP has reach, and the PNC, the mighty PNC, has reach as well. So the WPA is covered, and other smaller parties on the APNU are absolutely covered with the PNC and the WPA combined together. So that sounds like a winning solution. Amanza, I don't know what kind of reach she would have. She wouldn't have much reach. So voting for Amanza, where is going to put you? So Amanza said that her party was conceived 2 days before she declared it. I don't understand that. If your party declared 2 days before you make a pronouncement, where you going with that? So maybe she will have to collate with the PNC or the PPP or the AFC. You see what I'm saying? We got to walk these things through. I don't have to know this. All I have to know is some limited facts that were put out in the public. And then we arrange these facts in our heads and say, well, shucks, her party started 2 days ago before she made a pronouncement. She can possibly have a broad-based reach across all of Guyana. So who's she going to collate with? But she did say last night that she's going to collate. So maybe she'll collate with the AFC. I dread to think she would collate with the PPP. So where is your vote really going to go? You see what we are getting into? Muhammad, he don't want to collate, according to Mr. Amsterdam, if I could quote you correctly. Muhammad doesn't want to collate with anybody. So you vote for Muhammad. Let's say you vote for Muhammad and the American put criminal charges on him. Where your votes going to? You're thinking of that? What's to stop the PPP from putting criminal charges on Muhammad tomorrow, next week? What happened to your vote? Because the charges that Muhammad have been, the sanctions, those sanctions have criminal components to them. Criminal components to them. So what you going to do? You were told before. It looks like Nandalal isn't considering putting charges on Muhammad. You listening to the saber rattling? If you listen carefully, you're hearing criminal, criminal, criminal. Right? So you don't want to put your money where you don't have these problems. Right? We going to win. We don't want to get jammed up in a truck and then, oh shucks, this truck, people say pull in at the station. What are you going to do after that? Right? So these are things we need to consider. We seriously need to consider these things going forward. Once again, Mr. Amsterdam, thank you for giving me the time to talk to our people.
Thank you for your call. Coffee is asking me if I can name the parties that likely have the difficulty of getting to all the regions to effectively contest the elections. You know them. I'm sure you know them. Call you on. Good morning.
Hello.
Call you on. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Mr. Amsterdam. This morning I have 3 questions for you. Help me understand the current explanation just now about the joiner. So if they choose one person to represent them in Parliament, they cannot rotate that person. And my second question is, like WPA, APNU, and let's say if the AFC come on board, collate. Can you guys collate? Well, you have to collate before the election, but can you guys contest the election individually? And my third question is, with the current sanctions on Mohammed, can GCOM, I don't know if you have to pay a fee to register your party or a fee to contest the elections, but can GCOM accept any money or do any financial transaction or any business with the Mohammeds? Thank you.
Our smart-ass friend has visited us. Smart-ass, yes. Let me say this. Smart-ass, you got Anil Nandlal. He could provide guidance and all of those things. I guess you don't trust his guidance because he has lost so many cases, constitutional cases especially. Right? But here's my interpretation. Sanctions as instituted by the U.S. government, Office of what I call it, Overseas Assets Control or something. I don't pay too much attention to these fancy terminologies and so on. But sanctions is instituted by the U.S. government on the Mohammeds. Do not assume that they should just disappear in thin air and don't exist anymore. Are we saying that because the Mohammeds are sanctioned, if they go to any supermarket to buy food for their sustenance, then the supermarket going to be in problems? Are we saying if they pay transportation providers, then the transportation providers going to be a problem? In short, are we saying that the sanctions are supposed to blow them into oblivion? They must not exist? I doubt it. I doubt it. And so should GCOM accept their payment? Are the Mohammed's Guyanese citizens, do they have a right to participate in the selection of the government? Is it their constitutional right? Do these sanctions aim to disenfranchise the Mohammeds from exercising their constitutional right? I doubt it. Right? So that's my answer for that. The question is about whether WPA and APNU or PNC and these parties that form the coalition can contest the elections individually. Yes, they can contest the elections individually, but they chose to contest the election as a group. They chose to contest the elections as a group. I think that is what he's asking, if they can contest on their own. Yes, I think they can contest on their own, but they have chosen to contest in unity as a coalition. I can't remember the third question. Maybe it didn't make too much sense. Anybody remembers the third question, you can hit me up. Let me see if I can answer smart ass. All right, let me see if I can answer that. What was the third question? Anyways, let me see if there are any voice notes. Somebody could put a third question in the chat if you want me to respond to it. Call you live. Good morning.
Good morning. Hello.
Call you on. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Kadaki. With all due respect, why do you entertain that clown? If he wants to impress Barrett or Vince's or what anyone that clowns over there, he wants to impress them. You should go ask him the silly questions that he come asking people on this program. I don't understand why you always entertain this fool, because he has nothing constructive to say, to ask or to say. Just brum off. Just let him be on his merry way with his foolish handlers. Thank you.
Thank you. I know my nature, human nature. Right? I'm a teacher by nature, and so there's no foolish question for me. I usually say the person who dares to ask the quote-unquote foolish question is the person who sees value in seeking clarity not only for him or herself, his or herself, but others. Good. So I don't like to dismiss these things as foolish questions. You know, there are 100 million PNC, PPP supporters out there who have similar misconceptions, and this one just providing the opportunity for us to educate them. And education is supposed to change attitudes. I'm hoping that every time we educate them, their attitude changes. Call it on.
Yes, good morning to you and all my black brothers and sisters in Guyana. First thing first, what my grandmother teach me, don't cut the hand that feed you. Don't curse the bridge that you cross from. I did not say mean you. I'm talking about Mr. Mohammed. If you went to the same university that Guyana president went to, because of what I heard and what I read and how he pronounced his words. Okay, move on, Flash. I want to thank all those brothers and sisters who endorse my leader, Mr. Mr. Norton, it is not too late for the rest of you to endure Mr. Arby Norton and our new Prime Minister, a female. You see, God just remove and replace. When I tell my black brother and sister, none of you guys did not, I will use the word again, none of you guys did not believe Flash Garden, that God said that he will remove, well, I use the word spit, he will spit all of them out. So we understand spit and so we understand spot. He will spit all of them out who undermining Arby Norton, who giving Arby Norton basket to fetch water. He will stop the old and make Arby Norton fold the drum and move on to the next drum. Nothing surprised me because my grandmother teach me that. Because more you live, more you learn, more you see, and more you know. And more of them will leave PNC and more of them will come over to WPA and PNC. It would not surprise me for Mr. Vincent Adams leave. He will leave very soon. Because after 1 is 2, and after 2 is 3, and after 3 is 4. You see, I must thank those 3 that who came over to APNU. Because you know why? They do not want to represent the story of the dog and bone. The 3 of them demonstrate that word what Muhammad mentioned. Ali, my brother, don't do those things. Brother, don't live like that with brother. That was those 3 AFC member represent. And he sent a message to the tight close guy, Rickford Borg, Mark, Mel, John Thompson, and Brown. The 3 AFC sent a message to you guys. Brother, don't do those things. Brother, don't bring down those things. Especially, we are black brothers and sisters together. We must live like family. One love, one love, one unity, and support. You know, God used the word and said, I ever regret I make mankind because of mankind behavior and what they put out into the world and damage some of his people, his children. This morning, I'm going to take a little more time and preach. Flash Garden using the word today too. I ever sorry, I regret I shared Mr. Nigel Hughes in 2015 when his mother died. I give him sympathy. But when I heard his message to black people, I remember what France did to me, other black brother and sister in Haiti. France tell them plain, let anybody challenge Flash Garden say you're lying. If you want freedom, if you want independence, you got to pay me. And those black brothers and sisters work them tail off and pay for them freedom. And Nigel Hughes tell Flash Garden that our ancestors sent him to represent black people. But what he said afterwards, if you want me to help you, if you want me to join you black people in Guyana, you got to pay me 50 pieces of fish and 50 slices of bread. They got to get money to buy that fish and bread. The AFC represent the story of dog and bone. Let me say this here before we go last more. And please, Mr. Winston Jordan, don't sue me for calling your name, but you deserve it because I love to give credit where credit belongs to. Mr. Winston Jordan was asked, or was mentioned, the word mentioned to him, I know you want to go, but stay. Black people need you in Guyana. We need your knowledge. Don't go and share it to a next country. Mr. Winston Jordan could not give the answer right away. Are you still there? Hello?
Caller, we are here. Speak.
Thank you very much. He had to go home and sit down with his beautiful wife and said, honey, ABC and her words, I believe from my heart. And with you, God put us together to support each other. I will not encourage you to leave your people, leave your country. Your people need you. That make me say again, president and prime minister, when they take office, you have to acknowledge Miss Madam Jordan and give she the key for the city because of what she represents the world, what Jesus, what God dreamed that woman and to tell her husband, wash your hand from Jesus. Don't take part of that blood. Let Jesus' blood don't be in your hands. That's what Mr. Winston Jordan's wife represents. And my God, why Miss Cathy Hughes could not tell her husband Nigel Hughes, don't say those words to your black brother and sister. Move away from that. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your call. Like I usually say, I allow people to have their say. But I've also been saying to people, hey, you have to stop calling people name. A political party is not one man. Nigel this, Nigel that, Nigel the other. I'm answering this. Y'all stop. Nigel might be the face of the AFC, but there's a leadership council. Let's talk about the leadership council of the AFC. Let me stop this thing about identifying or attacking, if you want to call it, castigating one individual because they represent the organization. Let's address the organization itself. Right? Call you on. Good morning.
Morning, Kadaki. Let me just, not that he's my favorite, he's not my favorite by any stretch of the imagination, but this Mohammed thing and this sanction thing, and he can't run for president, he can't run for this. But before I get to that, I got to thank you for this, for the education that you're giving people this morning. And this education is important, and this is why I keep saying, if I had it in my power to do, before anybody vote, they have to do a test, voters education test. And of such, until you pass, then it's when you're going to be able to vote. Because the most dangerous voter is an uneducated voter. And that is very dangerous. And a lot of people realize this morning, and know a lot of things, right? But thanks for the education that you're giving them. To the Mohammed thing, people talking about the sanction, the this, the that, and the terror. We live in one of the most dangerous country to the rest of the world. You understand me? And these people sanction people left, right, and center next 2 mornings to come back and to go and sleep with them. Case in point, the head of the Syrian government right now, Ahmed al-Shawar, right? He was one of the worst terrorists. He was heading, I think, Hezbollah, etc., etc., etc. And they wanted him. He was sanctioned and so on. Today, he's the best thing after sliced bread. Everybody in the West loving him and all kind of thing. And he wasn't elected. He was parachuted into that position. Right? So, this by sanction is over here sanctioning him. And once he going to sing the songs for them, he's going to be the best thing after sliced bread. So, people, again, don't waste too much of time over that. Right? Listen to Mr. Kadaki, taking this education and move on. All right. Flash Garden mentioned a name, Norman Brown. I'm going to say it this morning. That is the most self-hating black man I've ever known on earth. The most self-hating black man I've ever known on earth. You understand? And I would like for him to leave England and go back home and run him out like how he running it and do the things that he think that people home supposed to do. Let him do that. Put your money where your mouth there. That's all I have to say.
Thank you for your call. I'm seeing in the comments, Harriet Wilson said that our smart-ass friend was asking if smaller parties can rotate the persons in parliament. I answered that question. According to the letter by Court de Silva, rotation can happen. But the rotation can only happen with somebody from the list that the representative was selected. So in the case of the last joinder, Anok got the largest number of seats. I think so. The allocation should have gone to Anok. Anok's representative should have been in parliament. And if that representative chose to leave Parliament and leave the seat vacant, then ANOG had to find a replacement from its list. Not any of the other two joiner parties' list, its list, because the seat was allocated to it. So if the seat is given to me, as the leader of the list, I have to find somebody to fill the seat at every instance. Forget the other two persons who also ran. We ain't got time with them. It was given to me to control. And the people I put there can only come from my list of candidates. So that is what I want to clarify for the Brea. Winston Jordan is telling me Schumann Party got the largest block of the votes. Thank you, sir. I tell you the honest truth. I don't even know. Right? Thank you. Thank you for that. I got some voice notes to play, and yesterday I ran into some problems with not playing a particular person's voice note. So let me play people's voice note.
Morning, Kidaki. Morning, viewers. My contribution this morning, I listened to both programs with Mr. Norton and the one with Dr. Hines. They're actually pegging Mr. Hughes to collate. But according to my two brothers' voice notes that were heard before, Mr. Hughes has no authority by himself to say yes. Everything was on facts. The facts were there. I listened to that Bajan lady. Oh my God. And the whoever was the prime minister, the opposition, the other guy. Those programs were on track. On track. But Mr. Usingano say, he gotta go and he got to talk to the Kakai one. Collate, this thing is policies, the policy for the people, the youths, our generation. Collate, me ain't frightened nothing with Mohammed. I ain't frightened nothing with it. Because she thief man and scraped, I see the behind me. People, the hustlers. You call them hustlers. Collate. September 1, vote like a boss. Look at see ex-president Granger. He put up something. Vote for APNU. Collate, people, collate. APNU get a strong team. Mr. Norton do nobody nothing. Mr. Norton was elected to be the leader by the people. They were about how much of them in the race, and Mr. Norton had a landslide victory. People want to do things in their own way. Collate people. Because then little stupid party, then even got seat forget. Collate. All you collate and move Guyana. Black people got for clean trench and gutter. Let we get out of the open national service. Look after the hospitals, the schools. Where Buxton itself ain't got a primary school. Buxton ain't got a primary school. The primary school condemn and nobody now look at it. Look the condition of Durban Park. Man, look, I don't want to go on that way. Have a great day, everyone. But coalition is the best. APNU, let's go. Together we stand, divided we fall. Unite, mobilize, strategize. Let's go. APNU all the way. Not when the election done, are you going to regret and then are you going to blame Mr. Norton? Mr. Norton is one man. Come out in all your numbers, encourage your all family, friends. Vote like bosses. APNU all the way. Victory. Onward, upward. May we ever go.
Good morning, viewers. Good morning, all right thinking Guyanese. So the length and breadth of this beautiful country called Guyana. For the Kidaki, I want to warn Guyanese people. You know what happened with Guyanese people? They are tend to forget things too quick in this country. You understand me? And this morning, I called to remind them about T. Mohammed. If they can recall when the PPP was installed in power, who was the security was backing them? It wasn't the guy in the police force, because they had no trust in the guy in the police force and the army at that point in time. And look today, Mohammed and the PPP fall out. Allegedly, because we don't know what is Mohammed's motive. We don't know what is the PPP motive. You understand me? And look today, the same police force and army that this government used to ridicule in the Granger government. Look what they're doing to them today. Look what they're doing to the police force today. They're using them, abusing them, and then throw them under the bus. You understand me? And I want the Guyana police force, African force, guys here, African people, I want them to wake up. I want them to look and see what this government using them against our own people, African people in this country. And the police and the government do not like them, do not trust them. And you look, you look coming to this election, you will see who the Mohammed going to put to protect them. You will see who the government, the installed government going to use to protect them. They're going to use what the guy name? They're going to use sheriff security to protect them this time because they can't get Mohammed this time because they abandoned Mohammed. We cannot trust Mohammed, and I see Africans who follow Mohammed. Mohammed and the PPP can strike a deal. Can strike a deal. Because these people is not people to trust. These people are evil people. These people are wicked people. So we Guyanese people gotta wake up. The black people that are following them. Black people. Watch what we go through in this country with this PPP government and Mohammed. Watch him what crime. Murdered. That Mohammed is accused with the PPP installed government. And black people have the audacity to follow this man. The same man will take so much our African young people blood. You are running after what's wrong with us. And the murder of that young lady, Rihanna Young. Come on, Guyanese people. Come on, black people. Watch them what black people, these people pick up and put in prison, young fellas and put in prison. I want to charge him for cybercrime. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. I want to charge him for terrorism. Come on, black people. The same government you're going to try to put back in Abbas and Mohammed. The same people. What really wrong with us, man? What really wrong with us? What really wrong with us, you know? The people in Syria are some stupid set of people. That's what they're doing with all kind of things and getting off with it. Why we can't wake up at this time? You know, it can be more crucial if we sit down and put the PPP back into power. It can be more crucial with black people. Me supposed to be talking on for black people like this. I don't have no problem. I'm an independent man. But it's the thing that happening to us. I'm a black. There's a reason why. And we still can't get it right. Come on, bro. You gotta wake up and smell this coffee. We gotta wake up. Enough is enough, man. Enough, kind of done with, kind of finish. And this girl Morninng must be one of the front burner for this election. The injustice that we are getting towards this girl Morninng. Come on, bro. Let us wake up. And you viewers, y'all have a blessed day.
It is now 3 minutes to the 9 o'clock hour. You're tuned to the Guyanese Morning Time. I am your host, Kidaki Amsterdam. Yes. Let me see. There's one final voice note I will play, and then we'll close this program.
Kadaki. Good morning to you. And good morning to our listeners, members of the diaspora, and to the four corners of the world who are tuning and listening. Kadaki, I'm trying to read your mind. You see how things looking confusing amongst the Africans, how they just can't come to a conclusion. That is how the Spirit of God does work. The Spirit of God does work in mysterious way. And the carnal-minded man does can't really understand. But that is how the Spirit does operate, how the Spirit does work. And mark my word, it will have a point in time when everything will just come together. Everything will just merge. Everything will just be in the right place at the right time. And they will collate. It will happen. It will have to happen. Because this is how God does operate. And I challenge anybody. I challenge anybody this morning that they will collate and the coalition will win. So all you see happening here, God allowing this to happen. Man ain't running things, It's God running things. So me ain't beating up, me ain't scared, me ain't worried. Because I don't believe it have a God, because when you believe, you still have an element of doubt. I know it have a God. And my God will bring victory to people who deserve victory. You feel Ali and Jack Deo and them could be doing black people a set of evil, a set of wicked, evil things all the time? No, it will not happen. It can't happen. Kakakaraki is spiritual again here this morning. Spiritual. Victory for the coalition. It will happen. It will have to happen. But God allowing these things to run, to show man how great he is. Karaki are out and listening.
Hey, Guyana, time to rise up, time to move up. APNU in the place. We put people.
That's me taking my leave, wishing you a pleasant rest of the day and telling you spread the word. Spread the word. Become a campaigner. Support the APNU plus WPA. APNU, support the coalition. Let's get this thing going.
From Essequibo straight to Berbice, Guyana people want justice and peace. From quarantine water to Demerara Shore, we tie up promises, we want more. No more lies, no more disguise. It's time for we dreams to realize. We coming strong with people power. APNU our, this is we our. APNU, say people first. We not gonna stop till the blessings burst. vision clear. Guyanese strong, no space for fear. We got the rhythm, we got the fire. Lifting every village higher and higher. No more fights, no more delay. We come to build Guyana today. From Lettenbush to Barsica Face. Every face got a place in this race. We done with the Bronx, done with this slack. We're taking the country forward, no turning back. Who you voting? Why we voting? Tell the nation. Let we go and claim the prize. APNU, we putting people first. Time to rise up, break the curse. Future bright like a brand new day. We die leading a real big way. APNU, say people first. From the top to the bottom of unity blazing, vision clear. Guyanese strong, no space for fear. Every youth, every elder stand tall. This Guyana belong to us all. From the market woman to the king cutter hand, we building up this blessed land. APNU got the plan, got the drive. Putting people first, keeping up alive. So wind up, jump up, move with pride. We waving them flag nationwide. Say, are you ready? Say we go vote. Say APNU. People first. APNU, we putting people first. Time to rise up, break the curse. Future bright like a brand new day. We join leading a real big way. APNU, say people first. From the top to the bottom of unity blazing, vision clear. Guyanese strong, no space for fear. We outside in sun and rain. We putting people first again. APNU, we lead the line. Time for Guyana to rise and shine. Hey, Guyana, time to rise.